Ugh, I can't take it anymore. I was just scrolling and I saw a video with 10 million followers where the creator called his trip to the dry cleaners a Sigma activity. A trip to the dry cleaners. This is a cultural emergency. People are throwing these words around without a clue, and it's causing mass confusion and a lot of secondhand embarrassment. It's the complete downfall of internet language. You might be thinking, who cares? Let people live. But words have meaning, even the ridiculous ones born in the darkest corners of the internet, especially those words. So today, we're setting the record straight. We're going to deprogram you so you don't end up sounding like you have no idea what you're talking about. Let's do this. All right, first on the chopping block, since it's what started all this, Sigma, a word that has been butchered beyond recognition. Now, most people think Sigma is just the new cool, right? Like a lone wolf, someone independent and successful who's just doing their own thing. Minding your business and buying almond milk? Kinda Sigma, no? No, absolutely not. That's the super sanitized, mass marketable definition. You've stripped it of all its chaotic, slightly unhinged glory. The term Sigma male was actually coined back in 2010 by a writer named Voxday as part of the whole manosphere hierarchy. It was meant to describe someone who operates outside the social food chain of alphas and betas, but is just as successful. They aren't just independent, they're lone wolves who win the game without even playing. It has this specific, edgy, almost manipulative vibe to it. It's not just being an introvert, it's being strategically detached with a Patrick Bateman-esque soundtrack playing in the background. Let me show you the difference. The way it's used now is like this. Ugh, I'm having such a Sigma day. I organized my spice rack alphabetically and didn't talk to a single soul. But the original vibe is more like this. The team wants a meeting to brainstorm synergy. I've already architected the entire project, sent it to the CEO, and positioned two of my rivals to take the blame if it fails. I will not be attending. That is Sigma. See? One is just being an introvert. The other is way more terrifying. Next up, yapping. This one genuinely hurts my soul because it's so simple, yet people mess it up constantly. You might think yapping just means talking a lot. Like, what I'm doing right now is basically a professional yapping session. End of story. Wrong. Close, but so wrong. The key ingredient you're missing is the absolute pointlessness of the conversation. The term comes from the sound a small dog makes, a yap. It's incessant, shrill, and usually about nothing important. When someone says, bro is yapping, they're not just saying he's talking. They're saying he's talking endlessly about something only he cares about. And I can feel my soul slowly leaving my body. Now, I know Gen Z will say things like, I need a good yap session with my bestie. That's a valid evolution, where it becomes a good thing, like a long, comforting chat. But the core of the word, its DNA, is rooted in annoyance. A professor giving a detailed lecture on quantum physics is not yapping. They're lecturing. Someone talking for 25 minutes about a dream they had where their teeth turned into corn? That is yapping. It's about the conversational junk food. For instance, this is not yapping. So then I told my boss we should really reconsider our Q3 projections based on the new market analysis, and I put together a full 30-page slide deck to show my points. That's just a really boring conversation. But this is yapping. So anyway, that's the fourth time this week I've seen a car that's the exact same shade of blue as that slushie I had in 2007 that gave me brain freeze. And it makes me think, are colors just memories? Which reminds me of the time my dog barked at a leaf for 20 minutes straight. That is yapping. The key is the complete and utter lack of a point. See? This is important work we're doing here. We are preserving the culture. Or, I'm just proving I have way too much free time. But, if you're tired of your friends sounding totally clueless, or if you just want to win your next pointless argument about internet words, then do me a solid and hit that subscribe button. And send this to that one friend who still thinks yeet is a dance. It's a public service, really. All right, let's tackle a word with a serious identity crisis: crash out. The common assumption is that crash out is just falling asleep. You're exhausted, you worked all day, you get home, and you crash out on the couch. Done. That is one meaning, the original wholesome one. But that is not how it's used in the viral slang context today. To crash out now means to have a complete and total meltdown, to get uncontrollably angry or distressed, often over something small. It's about losing all self-control and doing something reckless because you've been pushed past your limit. It's like throwing a tantrum, but with a more serious, almost dangerous vibe. The term comes from African American vernacular English, where it implies a total disregard for the consequences. You're not just mad, you're entering a situation knowing the outcome is going to be bad. People on TikTok use it as a joke, like, my DoorDash was late, so I'm about to crash out. But the original meaning implies a much more significant breakdown. Context is king. For example, the sleepy time version. Okay, team, great meeting. I'm so wiped, I'm going to go home and totally crash out. And now the meltdown version. He beat me with a cheap move in the video game. That's it. I'm crashing out. This whole house is going to pay. Wow, that's a huge difference. One is sleepy time, the other is scream and break things time. Now let's talk about delulu. I love this one. You hear it everywhere. Delulu is the solulu. It's come to mean being delusional, but in a cute, fun way. It's manifesting. Believing your celebrity crush will finally notice you. It's harmless fun, right? You've got the modern, positive spin down, but you skipped right over its origins. Delulu came from K-pop fan communities, and it wasn't always a good thing. It was often used as a jab to describe fans who had genuinely unrealistic parasocial beliefs about idols, like thinking they were secretly dating, or that every little thing was a coded message just for them. It was borderline obsessive and, well, actually delusional. It started out as a criticism. The whole Delulu is the Solulu thing is a recent rebrand, turning it into a mantra for self-belief. To really get it, you have to appreciate both sides, the fun manifestation side and the slightly darker, you're losing touch with reality side. Here's the modern, playful use. OMG, Harry Styles wore a blue shirt today. I'm also wearing a blue shirt. We're obviously meant to be. I'm so Delulu lol. And here's the K-pop forum, circa 2014 Delulu, that started it all. So if you analyze the flight patterns of pigeons over the studio where he records, you'll see they form my initials. He's trying to contact me. He knows. One is a joke, the other is a cause for concern. Finally, a word that's been co-opted and stretched into total nonsense. Bussin. If you tell me bussin' isn't about food being delicious, I will lose it. This pizza is bussin'. That's its whole purpose. And yes, it is primarily used for food being exceptionally good. Its origin is from African American Vernacular English, AAVE, and it's thought to come from busting or bursting, as in bursting with flavor. So you're not wrong, but you're incomplete. Because it got so huge on TikTok, people now use bussin' for anything that's excellent. An outfit can be bussin', a song can be bussin'. The problem isn't applying it to non-food items, it's using it for things that are just fine. Bussin' implies top tier, 10 out of 10 excellence. It's not for something that's merely adequate. Saying your commute to work was bussin' because there was no traffic, that is a criminal misuse of the word. A commute can be good or easy, but it doesn't have the sheer explosive excellence required to be bussin'. So, taking a sip of water and saying, this water is bussin', N-O, it's water. It's hydrating, it's necessary for life, but it is not bussin'. However, taking a huge bite of a gourmet multi-layered chocolate cake and saying, oh my God, now this is bussin' bussin'. Correct. The double bussin' for emphasis is also acceptable for a truly transcendent experience. It's about respecting linguistic origins, and there you have it. A crash course in not sounding like a clueless boomer. Or worse, a TikTok creator who just learned a word 5 minutes ago. Words have history, they have context, and they have power. I know you might think I'm a pedantic purist of internet culture, and maybe I am, but the origins actually make the words way more interesting. Language evolves, but the original context matters. So, who do you think is right here? Am I taking this too seriously, or should we respect the history of these words? Let me know your verdict in the comments. And more importantly, what slang did I miss? What words are you hearing that make absolutely no sense? Drop them below, and maybe I'll tackle them in a part 2. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more cultural preservation.